Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and get started, guys. Thanks so much for hopping on this. I'm really excited to be able to host one of these. I've joined a few of them, and I've always just loved the participation, love the guests. And I'm just really excited and honored to be able to do this with you guys and join today. And I am extremely thrilled to be here with Christina Blue, one of our awesome top performing agents in our office here at the Beach Cities office down in El Segundo. We are we're based at the Point down here in El Segundo, and Christina has been with us for, I'll let her get into it and tell her story, but she has been really involved with our office from day one. She's a mentor. She helps run the mentor program. She's been on the ALC multiple times. She runs a really great team. And I'm really excited to get to hear a little bit more and to have her share her story. So without further ado, I will let Christina, you want to introduce yourself and then we can kind of go from there?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I know that you guys are all, it's a hustle and bustle and everyone is probably getting ready and doing stuff this morning, but it would be fantastic if y'all would just turn on your little camera. It's very difficult doing this to just still pictures or when, we just have your name on there. So if you could do that, that would be great. Thank you. Yes, as Jake said, I've been with our office, Keller Williams Beach Cities, for the past 6 years. I've been in the business for 9 years, KW6, and I absolutely love our office. We have one of the best offices in the world. I started off, I actually was not trying to get into real estate at all. I buy businesses and I flip them. That's kind of my thing. So the last business I purchased was a boxing gym. Used my marketing, flipped it, and was looking for my next venture and just kind of wanted a little bit more, experience in different things. So I answered an ad of being an open house assistant. I thought that meant the girl holding the cookies. It didn't. I showed up with my stilettos and lo and behold, we were door knocking in Manhattan Beach. And if you know Manhattan Beach, you know that there are probably 80 steps to every house. So I got a real crash course into the labor intensive door knocking that is in real estate. And after that weekend, I just used my marketing tools and thought, hey, there's a better way to do this, and this, hire me on. And so I worked with that agent for 3 years. He had a development company and a real estate company. So we would acquire teardowns in Manhattan and Hermosa Beach, go through the city, build 2 on a lot, and then turn around and sell them. And so my background, I'm so grateful and thankful for my background because I'm coming in, when I started my own business 6 years ago in real estate, I already came from knowing everything to do with how to build a home, right? From working to the city to, every drywall, everything. So yeah, so that's my background. And like I said, Jake, I've been very involved in our office. I am a trainer, mentor, which I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite things. I have a private coaching group called 13%. As you know, 87% of agents fail within the first 5 years. So that's hence 13%. Yeah, thanks. I'm happy to be on today.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for that. Good, really good stuff. So we heard a little bit how you got into real estate. I guess I'd love to hear why you have continued to stay in it. Like, what has kept you in it? What has kept you investing? It seems like you like to flip businesses. What about real estate has kind of made you stick in this for a while?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So my big why. My big why is time, and flipping businesses was not giving me time because I was having to deep dive into each business, learn the business, utilize my marketing tool, and you're there probably 12, 14, 15 hours a day, and then turn around and sell it. So real estate in the beginning, it's really hard and you definitely have to put in your time, but real estate affords me my big why, which is time with my family. I'm a Christian. I'm heavily involved in my church. So I got to, hang out, with my family and friends and fellowship and all of that.
Awesome. That makes sense. Yeah. It's one of the great things about Keller Williams that I know you talk a lot about with our newer agents and even with our mentors, just how can we focus on getting that time. Our businesses exist to support our lives and not the other way around, right?
Absolutely. And, with Keller Williams, it's God family business, and that's from the top. And so I absolutely love that.
So where, you've been in the business now for a little while and you've started to grow a team, where have you found your business in the past, and where do you see, as you start to grow and as the industry kind of experiences some shifts, where do you see business coming from in the future?
So I got a lot of business from open houses, which that is a giant bummer. I'm kind of known for my massive open houses. That's, everybody knows, if I've got a broker's open coming up, you're going to come. I have the taco lady. I've got, live music. I mean, I do got cocktails. I mean, a whole big thing, and lots of business comes from that. So, like in any shift in the market, you can either sit and dwell in it, or you can pivot your business. So I had to quickly pivot. And thankfully, also, primarily my business comes from social media. So that has been really fantastic, just putting, that into high gear. So I really think, moving forward, face to face, I'm hoping that comes back. But we also just have to be aware of people are used to being at home. And that stuff may not, who knows, right? I do have a lot of buyers that are like, when are open houses coming back? I'm like, I know, me too. So I'm hoping that part of it comes back. Door knocking, people don't feel so comfortable door knocking, and, things like that right now. So, really it's building those relationships through platforms like this, using Zoom, doing meetings. The great thing is that this has always been here, but we just haven't utilized it. And most people would rather go to something in person. Well, now people would love to jump on a Zoom, because they can do that throughout their day and whatever they're doing. If they're, in between meetings or whatnot, they can hop on something. So really creating what my team and I are working on is buyer consultations via Zoom. And like, classes for buyers, not just a single buyer consultation, but classes for buyers on Zoom. And that way we can continue marketing that. So create it once and then just continue having that on repeat and sending it out. And again, ramping up the social media. Right now, people have time to be on social media, which is great. So if you can put a splash, if you can do, we're starting to get into TikTok. I know we're a little late. I know a lot of people are already mastering TikTok, but things like that are just funny, silly videos that break up your day and really create a name for yourself, as opposed to just being just another face in these boxes.
That's a great point. And actually, would you tell us a little bit of what some of the platforms that you have been on? And you started talking about a little bit kind of moving forward. Where do you see it being where are the good opportunities for us to get into social media? How have you posted in the past? Do you have any details like that you could share?
Yeah. So my philosophy is, look, everything you can find on Google. Okay. But Google is so overwhelming if you don't know what you're looking for. So if you're looking at like, how's the market, and you Google how's the market right now, it's going to be bananas. You have no idea how to navigate that. So I want my clients going directly to me. So those are the type of classes that I'm going to be putting on. Those are the type of videos that I'm shooting. Also right now, more specifically, I'm working with a couple top agents across the country to create a Zoom class that we're going to, like a panel of the top cities that people are moving to and from. And I'm really excited about it. We're putting it together. It'll be like May 15th, I think. So that's something that's really exciting, so that somebody can just, if you're looking at moving to one of the top cities, why are people moving out of California? Why are people moving in? What about these top, Boise, Idaho? Tons of clients are moving to Idaho. Why? What's going on in the Idaho market? If you were in California thinking about moving to Boise, Idaho, and you just Google, why should I move to Boise, Idaho? You're going to get a million answers and have no idea how to navigate through that. So instead, I'm cutting out Google, just come to me. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be putting on. And we're super excited about it. And all these other agents as well are going to be advertising it. There's 5 of us. So everyone else is going to be advertising it to their sphere. So now I'm getting in front of a Boise, Idaho agent, all of their sphere. And so if you are moving out of California and want to move to Boise, Idaho, there's another listing for me. So that's just one of the things that we have coming up.
That's awesome. And through all of that, what I heard you say mostly is the way that you want to bring value to people and stand out to your clients in that way. So cut through all of the noise going on through social media, through their lives, and you want to stand out by providing the most value to them.
Mm-hmm. Mhm,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, it's important to know your sphere, especially on social media. I teach a whole social media class, and one of the biggest things I can say is know your sphere, know the identity of your sphere. And so that way you know what kind of content that they would like you to put out. So I have a slower sphere, meaning I don't have a lot of millennials following me. So I don't need to put out, 16 pieces of content a day, right? I can do one every couple days because it takes them at night. Literally, my sphere will save up all their Facebook social media time, and then they'll sit and they'll go through all of, everything that's there. And so because of that, I also know the things that they need and they don't need. And when I talk at a higher level and talk about how the market is, they're not interested in the higher level percentages and things that I'm throwing out. My sphere loves what is escrow, because when they Google what is escrow, you still don't even know. Right. So I literally shoot these easy to understand videos of like, what is escrow? Here's the keys. Here's money. Escrow goes like this. And then people are like, wow, that's a really easy way to understand. What is title? I mean, these are things that like we take advantage of. We think that everyone knows and it's so common to us, but it's not. What is title a person? Is it a business? Do we need to go there? So, and especially if they've purchased homes outside of California, everything's so different. So that's my sphere. Now, my business partner has a millennial following. So if she did a video like that, what is escrow, and did that, they would be gone. So again, it's just really important to know your sphere, know the people that you're surrounded with, and then provide content directly to them.
That makes total sense. And one of the things, if you guys haven't been in a Christina Blue taught class, she does I mean, it's just obvious that you're passionate about the classes that you teach and the material you're teaching. It comes through really well. It totally shines through. And so I guess when you talk about, a lot of your value is providing information through these classes, through really empowering not just consumers, but also agents too, right? Through your 13% club coaching. If an agent here is looking to get into, what are some tips that you could give the agents here of like how to find that one class that they can at least start with, that they feel really passionate about, that they can really connect with their audience? Like what's your favorite class you teach to agents, and what's your favorite class you teach to, your sphere?
That's tough. Because I'm really passionate about a lot of things.
It's true.
So I would say my favorite class that I teach is social media.
Okay.
It's called Leveraging Your Sphere Through Social Media. And it's about utilizing your social media as a farm. So literally having a plan, like if you go, if you have a farm, you don't just go to one door today and then maybe next Tuesday go to a different door. I mean, you have a plan, you know how many doors are there, you know the identity, and you have a plan, a marketing plan to them. So that's the same concept of my social media class. I also am super passionate about buyer consultations. I'm a firm believer of if there's any issues, for the most part, 99.9%, if there are any issues in escrow with your client or we're getting to escrow, it's your fault. It's something that you didn't communicate properly. And it might sting a little, but if you literally look back, or let's say your client is driving you around, I mean, you've seen 70 homes. Guess what? It's not them, it's you. You didn't do a good job of setting boundaries, explaining to them the process. Same thing with home inspection. If your home, your clients want every single thing fixed on the home inspection. Well, guess what? That's because you didn't do a good job at the buyer consultation explaining all of this. So everything starts at the buyer consultation. I have 100% conversion ratio of buyer consultation to buyer rep signed.
Oh, wow.
My clients actually ask me, they send me an email and say, may you please send me the buyer rep? I'm ready to get started. So that all is in the buyer consultation. And when you have a rock solid buyer consultation, that just sets a tone for your buyers. The biggest class that I would say that I teach for clients, or the biggest area that I'm talking about, is truthfully getting into where is the market right now. I don't mean those random videos of like, oh, homes are up 16% and blah, 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 and busy talk. I'm talking about really, my clients ask me, how is the market and should I buy? And for some of them, I say, no, this is not the right market for you in your specific situation. It's very competitive. And if you want a deal, wait. this is not for you. But for those other ones that you're willing to bypass a lot of the things that make you feel comfortable and, waive appraisal or waive this or whatever, if you really want a home, you've got to really want it in 2021 in order to get it. So I like having very real conversations and very real classes with my clients about where are we in the market? What are we seeing? There's so much fear-based conversations about lifting the moratorium out there. Where is the information coming from? Right. And some of it is coming from realtors who are just thinking there's going to be so many foreclosures. I get calls from my sellers going, oh my gosh, we have to go on the market today. I just heard from another realtor that all these homes are going to be on the market foreclosed. Where? Because here's the math and here's the information that I'm seeing. Right. So that's really the conversation that I enjoy having with my clients. So they know that they can come to me. I'm their knowledge broker.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So I have to ask, the next question has to be, when's the next time you're going to teach some of those classes? Right?
I don't have them booked yet, but I will talk to Piper.
Okay, there you go.
I have one booked. I don't know what it is. Yeah, we'll work out the details.
Well, yeah, we'll get the details. If any of you guys are interested, we'll be sending that out too. Because again, I highly recommend going to them. They're really good, and she gets good reviews from agents, not just the people who work with her. So don't worry about that. Okay, so let's rewind a little bit and kind of travel back in time and also kind of be in the present. If you had to start over your business fully today during the pandemic, where would you start, knowing that open houses and door knocking are a little bit, things that you used to do were a little bit, we don't know. And so where would you start? Kind of what would you focus on today?
So I'm going to stick with social media, but on a different platform, Nextdoor. Nextdoor, if you guys every neighborhood I think has Nextdoor. It's a social media platform for your specific neighborhood that you have to prove that you live in. That has been super fruitful for us. And I had a presence on it before, but it took me a while to really jump in. These are people that, live in your neighborhood. They're asking questions about their specific neighborhood on this platform. Right? This isn't like Facebook where they're showing their food for the night, right? They're asking specific questions, and it's a great opportunity for you to jump in when they're saying, what's the best sushi restaurant? And you just jump in and provide value and just keep providing value. And then every once in a while, you can jump in with real estate information, local real estate information, as long as you're not spammy. That I would have, if I was starting all over again, and all of my mentees, that's part of like signing up with me. Are you on your Nextdoor, and what value can you provide on a constant basis? And that also means groups. There's groups in the Nextdoor website. So.
Awesome. That's really cool. It's basically you're working to become the digital neighborhood ambassador. It sounds like, kind of like the digital mayor almost of your specific neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And the people are telling you what they want, right? I mean, they're asking questions, right, and you can just, here it is.
I mean, people are saying, hey, do you guys have a house cleaner? Because I'm trying to clean up my house because I'm getting ready to sell. I mean, this is where they're asking. And I'm like, I do. I have a housekeeper also. May I come by tomorrow at 3? So that's and you're providing value and making a name for yourself. There's a specific post that I did that I will share with you guys. And there's actually a couple different posts that I have done that I don't even manage. It just keeps blowing up. So one of them I posted probably about 3 months ago, and it's crazy. And the other one I posted a couple years ago, and it lasted about a year. So the very first one I saw on Lab Coat Agents, this idea of posting on there saying, hey, I am trying to put together a list of handyman and local contractors for my clients as they move into this neighborhood. I'd like to know, who do you use? Who's your plumber? Who's your electrician? Also, if you'd like this list, give me your email. That continued to roll over and over and over again. I mean, people would just keep adding to it, and the post would go back up to the top. And everyone was thanking me for this. Oh, that's awesome. Now, I never said, who do you know that wants to buy, sell, or invest? But that's implied in the email. And then people are asking me for this list. And then now they're on my drip campaign, because that's how you get my list. So I got about 300 emails in the first week from that. And these are people that are not unsubscribing. They asked to get my information, right? So that post just kept coming back. The one that my team and I just recently did, that's Mike, who's on my team, they asked him to be the mayor of the city. So in this post, I get comments all the time, private messages saying, Christina, your heart is so big. I can't believe you did this. You're amazing. And I'm like, wow, it was a paste and copy. So it was a post saying, there's a lot of words, but it says something about, no buying or whatever. This is only for giving, or for the no money involved. But if you have a need that you need help with, please post it on here. I'd like to, let's get the neighborhood to help. So initially people were putting on there like, yeah, it was around Christmas time. Someone's like, I need a Christmas tree. How sad is that, right? They couldn't afford a Christmas tree. And then, so I'm thinking that I'm posting this and these are the needs that I'm going to have to meet. I haven't had a chance to meet one of them. Because I would go, hey, and then the moment it takes me to go ask my husband, hey, can we go buy this person a Christmas tree? I look back and somebody else is like, I got you. I'm dropping it off at 3. Tell me your address. And then it was like, oh, my kid needs a bike. Boom, boom, boom. Then it turned into, on its own, it took a whole new identity and turned into neighbors saying, I have a brand new desk that I don't need. Does anyone want it? I have this, I have that. We had people wanting like exercise bikes, and someone's like, yep. There was a neighbor who said, if anybody has an extra car, someone else was like, yeah, I do. Like, and you can't buy, sell, nothing. It was no donations. It was only giving. It says give only. And so it took on a whole life of its own. I can't even jump. I try to like jump in there and manage it and say, hey, thanks for being a great neighbor. But I can't. It's so big and it took on a whole life of its own. And every time somebody comments on it or likes it, my name keeps going back in their inbox over and over and over again, which is why I haven't even been able to correspond with anyone with it. And yet I'm getting these private messages saying, thanks so much. This is so amazing. I can't believe you did this. So
that's awesome. That's really cool. Well, that's really cool. And the next question I was going to ask, it maybe was kind of answered by that, but you have a unique position that you're involved in the productivity side of things, and I wanted to share, get your advice, or if you could share one productivity tip with everybody. This sounds like it's kind of also a really good action item. Like everybody should be getting on Nextdoor and posting just simple questions with value and just leading with, hey, what are your guys' needs? And then I will help fill them. But do you also have a separate productivity tip that you can share with the agents?
I do. So those are two, actionable items that you have. These two are more just bigger thinking things. Number one is follow up. I know you hear it all the time. We all hear it all the time, but I just got contacted by another member on my team who said, hey, guess what? I just found out a past client bought with someone else. Again, follow up. It's all about the follow up. Be very specific about your follow up plan. If you're going out, so with my agents, the first thing I say when they go, hey, I'm going to go, do these mailers. Well, before you do the mailers, what is your follow-up plan? Don't spend money unless you actually have a follow-up plan with that. So that's super important. So before you go generate leads, have the plan. Don't just generate leads and then go, oh no, how do I do the plan? Nope. Before you go, the first thing you should do is have a follow-up plan, then go and move forward. The second tip that I have is, study the market. Be the market broker, be the knowledge broker. I can't say that enough, especially with what's going on. It bothers me how much information I'm hearing from other agents that are not coming from studying the market. It's just coming from fear-based conversations or just they think, right? So I challenge my agents whenever I ask them like, well, how do you think the market is? And they'll tell me and I say, how do you know that though? And they go, well, I mean, I'm just I think, no. Unless you can sort unless you can cite your source, don't say it. Really be the knowledge broker. And there's so many different, like Keeping Current Matters, you can study that. There's tons of emails and things like that you can get on that I get every single morning. And it's just part of what I do every morning is I read what's going on, because I want my clients, when they call me, for me to actually know the answer and not just tell them what I think. Again, we're going back to the moratorium question. I have the answer. I have percentages. I know what that's going to look like, what 2021 is going to look like, because I study the top 100 economists of the country every day. This is what I do. So I know the percentage of homes that took the moratorium with the forbearance, right? So I know the appreciation value that happened in 2020 and what we're looking at in 2021. I know what a normal appreciation value is. These are the things. So when I have clients that call me and say, oh my gosh, this is what I'm hearing, what do you think? I can actually, cite my sources and give them correct information. So that is maybe not a productivity, tip, but it is for moving forward and strengthening the relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's huge. And then you cited a couple of things like keeping current matters as a resource that you used. Do you have another specific one you can share with people they could write down?
I do. I already read it this morning, and for some reason I can't. It's the Brew.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So I get it every single morning. It's the Brew, and it's awesome. It gives you like fun. It gives you news in like a funny way, like a sense of humor. But you get it's not real estate. It's everything. I'm not studying just real estate
Right.
News. I'm studying everything across the board.
Right. It's all encompassing. There are a lot of moving pieces that affect. Yeah. So that makes total sense. Not just focus on real estate, but expanding your view, taking a step back and seeing, okay, how is the price of lumber affecting new home starts, which is affecting the supply of the market, right? You have to kind of.
So that's such a great, Jake, that's such a great point that you just made right now. So, we have a company here called Zoom Casa that we align ourselves with. And Zoom Casa helps, they pay for like the remodel of a home, and then it goes through escrow. So, right now we're talking about different things that we can do. I have a listing coming up. We just did a walkthrough yesterday. And because I know the price of lumber, my advice to my clients on what type of remodel is going to be different because I know that. If I didn't know that, then here we are, I'm going to waste 2 weeks saying, hey, let's get let's get wood flooring put in. Let's get all of this. The cost of construction in general went up 30% to 40%, just in general. So here I am, I'm going to give them all of this advice that I was doing yesterday, but things change today, right? So you can't just stick with what happened yesterday. You have to know every single day. And it's not only just, talking, getting these emails and things like, who do you have in your network? Could you not have a once a week call with a contractor, a local contractor? Could you not just every, Tuesday at 4:00, you call and say, hey, I'm just checking in, and you start to have kind of a networking. I'm going to tell you what's going on my end so that but also what's going on your end. What are you seeing in construction right now? Appliances, you can't get appliances. Okay, they're back ordered. You can't get them. So we had a situation where if we didn't know that, so we wanted a new stove in our listing. It was an old, crummy stove. Well, we put it in the garage and we waited because if we couldn't get one because everything's back ordered, then we can't sell a house without a stove, right? So these are the things that if we didn't know that a couple months ago, we would have ditched the stove when the hauler came. And then what? Then we tell our clients, sorry, we have to wait till the next market because we don't have a stove and I don't know when they're coming back. These are the types of conversations that you need to be having with the people around you. So a great tip, literally become friends with a contractor and have a once a week call. I'm not saying once a month. I'm literally saying once a week so that you know what's really happening. And maybe you can try to provide some type of value for them.
I love that. I love that idea. I think that's a really smart idea, just building your relationship and growing and expanding your own viewpoint and understanding of the industry. Yeah, I love that. Well, I know we're rubbing up against the 8:30 mark. I wanted to ask one last question because you're in the middle of this right now yourself, and I think you could provide some cool perspective. But agents who are looking to either start their own team or join a team, what are a couple of bits of advice that you would give somebody in that situation?
So my first advice is do a deal on your own. You don't know what you're looking for in a team until you have worked on your own. Okay, so do at least a deal. I'd love for you to do 3, but at least 1 deal on your own, or at least be actively working with clients on your own so that you know your style before you start adapting to someone else. When you join a team, your way is gone and it's the team way, but you don't know what your way is. And so it's hard to also understand like what your wall of value is in a transaction. So my first suggestion is do a deal on your own. Then my second is sit and think. Don't interview teams first. The first thing is to sit and think, what do I want out of a team? If I'm going to be paying someone X amount of commission, what do I want? What makes it worth it to me? And it could be training, it could be leads, it could be camaraderie, accountability. There's a lot of different things it could be. It doesn't matter, but you need to sit and think, what do I want from a team? Then the next thing is, what do I have to offer? Right? If a team wants you because you're brand new and you've never sold anything, okay, but then you're just going to be kind of the robot in the team, right? Because you're just there absorbing you and you're just coming right in. But what unique wall of value do you have to offer? And do you want to be on a team that accentuates that highlights that, okay, that lets you have room to breathe? If that's not important to you, then that's okay. But for the most part, you got into this business because you're an entrepreneur, you know, you want to have the flexibility, but joining a team, you lose a lot of that flexibility, right? And you lose a lot of that entrepreneurship because someone else is doing it for you. So if you're kind of going back to being not an employee, but kind of, it needs to be worth it to you, and it needs to be in a team that provides the value and the environment that you think is important to you. So again, first, do a deal on your own. Second, get crystal clear on what you are looking for in a team. And third, what is your wall of value? What do you provide? Are you a go-getter? Do you have a background in construction, or what is your wall of value?
I love that. I love that. To take really good advice. I think that would be really wise for everybody to follow. We've worked so hard to get to this point where you're getting into real estate. Like, it's taken at least 100 days to get your license. You finally joined a brokerage. You're just now open to the fire hose of information and knowledge. Slow down for a minute and you know, view your career like the long way is kind of what I'm hearing you say. And look inward, invest in yourself and see, okay, what is the best thing that I can do for my business moving forward? Not necessarily this moment, what do I have to kind of grab and like hold on to, but take a breath, you're above water, you're doing okay, and move forward that way. I love it. I love it. Okay, so last question, where can people find you? Where can, what are some social media
Sure.
channels for you? And then we'll head out.
My name is right there, Christina Blue. So you can look me up on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I'm primarily on Facebook. I've got all of those. And then if you'd like to be included in the 13% group on Facebook, just message me. And yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. There you go, guys. Thank you so much, Christina, for joining. Thank you all so much for.
So much. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, we could have done this for a lot longer, so maybe we'll have to do a part 2 or something another time. But thank you all for joining. Thank you for having your cameras on, and go kill it. Go kill it on this Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you.
Bye, Ruth.
Yeah.
Thank you.